Hey, what's up guys? We're back again with the top 5 best decks in Clash Royale. The best players in the world competed all week, trying their hardest to reach the highest ranks. And these 5 decks rose above the rest. They're great decks to upgrade no matter what your skill level or arena's at. As long as you take the time to learn them, these decks will give you a huge advantage over your opponents. Lots of love to everyone that's using creator code SirTag to support the channel. The number 5 player in the world used this dirty Goblin Giant deck to destroy other pro players. We're playing one of the most destructive decks in Clash Royale that is purely built on counter push. Usually you want to cycle your evolved archers as fast as possible, but if you're not able to, you can cycle your goblins to get there. You never want to cycle your little prince at the start, your bowler or your fisherman or your goblin giant unless your opponent gives you a good opportunity to do it. By that, I mean like going and cycling a musketeer. That is an opportunity for us to go in for a bowler in the same side. I'm not going to click the ability. I didn't necessarily know what he was going to have up his sleeve. Rather go and cycle our bowler and get to our archers a bit quicker. Also, I can go and kite his mini pekka with our goblin giant directly into our bowler. I love doing this. You can do it with Sparky, and you can also do it with goblin giant plus bowler. He's probably going to go in for a hog rider, so we're going to try to go and damage down that ice golem as quickly as we can, and then go for a fisherman to go and target the hog rider. Also, notice how the goblin giant bowler push is putting in work in the left-hand side. That's why this deck is so good. You focus on defense first, and then your opponent gets in the worst possible place. That's how it works. It gives us a well-played 2. We activated King Tower comfortably while crushing his entire existence. And then we're going to go and pull back the mini pekka while being able to cycle back to another bowler to shut down the mini pekka and musketeer. Immediately going to go for a little prince on the right because he should go for a hog rider soon. If he doesn't, then it's okay. But if he did, then the little prince would charge up its attack because as it moves, it's going to lose its attack speed. But if it stays in the same spot, targeting the ice golem and then immediately targeting the hog rider afterward, then it would have ramped up to maximum attack speed. And if that happens, then he would have gotten shredded. He's already dead. We'll bounce on to the next one. This deck is OP. Yo, the evil archer is actually going to give us a 3 crown too. So as long as you play this deck confidently and passively, you're going to find opportunities to seize your opponent's towers and they'll have no power to defend. Just don't go for random goblin giant lightnings and single elixir, cycling your bowlers in the back, or do anything stupidly aggressive. Because if you do, you'll find a way to lose with one of the best decks in the game. That was almost too easy, so we got to play another game with the deck. So we were able to win 7 games in a row with this deck in under a minute. There's no chance for opponents to defend if they overcommit. Like, look at that. He goes pekka in the back first play. We're going to go goblin giant other side. And it's going to be actually pretty much impossible for you to get a positive elixir trade on this pekka. Because we're extracting all of your elixir right now. You have to defend against the goblin giant. And now your pekka is stranded all by itself. How is it going to be able to break through a little prince that is mauling it while we have goblins to distract and defend? Also, we could have activated King Tower using something else like a fisherman, but I don't really want to play like that. Instead, I go in for my little prince on the other side, so then it walks away from the pekka, and it gives us damage to the side that we already have value. And then we can play passive here, knowing that our opponent is preemptively going to drop pekkas in the back first play and drop 7 elixir. Like, this guy's insane. Oh, he's got monk! I really want to activate King Tower right now. First, I'm going to go in for our archers on the right-hand side, and then see if he goes and clicks a random ability. If he does it, it would be awesome. Please do it, sir. Please! Oh, he doesn't do it. But he will eventually give me the King Tower activation with the firecracker here, so we will snag that. It's just funny because there was a chance of us getting a positive elixir trade with him clicking a monk ability that would actually hurt him. Oh, I don't love this. Fisherman's going to go and pull the pekka to the other side. It's pretty unfortunate. Now it's going to be able to build up a bigger push on the side that he already has damage in. But we will rinse and repeat the same transaction. Another thing that we could do is go in for the Goblin Giant Kite, as you guys remember. We can always Goblin Giant Kite whatever we want. And then we prolong the fight. And then, much to our delight, the Little Prince survives the fireball. We can maybe even go in for a Goblin Giant left-hand side since the Little Prince is still alive. Ooh, I think going in for the archers is a bit spontaneous. But I do like it as well because there's a high chance he's going to try to use some distraction. And then we can rage up the archers and the Goblin Giant at the same time. Oh, he's going to go for a monk. I should have thought about that. He got monk, pekka, and a Tesla. Goblin Giant will still find a way through. I promise you. It's going to happen. Y'all might be tripping right now. Y'all might be like, Jake, you're a fool. But it's not that foolish. It will work. So we're just going to make sure that the bowler does not end up hurting me. Drop it out of alignment of our tower because the monk ability could be pretty menacing. We're going to go in for a Goblin Giant, make a prediction on the pekka with our fisherman and try to go and pull that to our side of the map. And then go for our evil archers to go and shred the pekka. So amazing zap from our opponent if he did it a little bit faster. And now it's a bit of a disaster because we can rage up our Goblin Giant. So if you force yourself into a situation where you have to go head first into a pekka, always try to make those prediction plays with your fisherman. Because if you are able to go and pull the pekka, you're going to pull off a heist of damage, and the opponent might not be super happy. So So I'm going to go and click the ability here of the Little Prince just to make sure that we have the Guardian to divide and conquer the rest of his spam. He's going to go for an Evolved Firecracker. That's a smart decision. We're going to drop our archers right out of harm's way, and we're going to have to rage on top of that Firecracker. Oh my gosh, that was scary for a second. Wait, this guy is making the game spicy. I'm ready for it. I like playing against difficult matchups because it really tests my thinking. Like, can I find a way through? Is there any way to win this? Also, another thing that we can do is we can lightning on top of the Tesla. So if we go opposite lane, it's not that bad. Actually, wait. Are we lightning on the Firecracker? No, we lightning on the Tesla. Okay, we're good. We can go and push back the level 15 pekka. This guy's built different, literally. He's got the level 15 cards. Chilling here with level 14. He's like, Jake, I am pay to win. I will make you make your end. Oh my gosh. All right. I'm going to go Goblins here because I'm pretty sure that we're going to be able to kill the Firecracker with that if we can just get one more stabby stab. Yes, sir. We get it. All right. We could try to lightning cycle him if we need to, but oh my gosh. He's just a wild child. He's cycling pekkas like crazy. No, we're going to go and drop onto the Tesla. That's not good. Can we lightning on the Firecracker? Yes, sir. That was worth it. Being able to finish off the Firecracker makes me happy. I'm going to eat an entire Goblin gang. I'm going to go Goblin Giant. I'm going to go and drop the Evolved Archers. Oh, that is going to be funny because now he can't go and click the Monkey ability because then he'll lose to the Goblin Giant. He'll lose to the Goblin Giant. He clicked the ability and then he has no ability to stop the Goblin Boy. So we're going to lightning in the corner and this guy's going to be a mourner because there's no way to stop that. Even the monk can't body block the lightning. As you can see by him flexing the emote, he's an ultimate champion player with a huge hard counter. He was able to successfully stop our deck from taking the win within a minute, but he still got destroyed. When Monk Mirror Pekka with Tesla still can't stop a Goblin Giant in the meta, you know there's a gigantic problem. This Goblin Giant Shrek deck is utterly unfair. The rank 4 player in the world shot his way to the top of the leaderboard with this Sparky deck. And we got another Shrek deck on our hands. Unfortunately, Shrek is missing in our hand. So I'm going to go in for probably a Sparky if he spams us. Otherwise, I'll go Mini Pekka, and then I'm going to go Minion so he can't activate King Tower. If they have Tornado, and he might have Tornado because we saw Barbaril, it's really bad to leave an unsupported Mini Pekka on the loose. Because if they activate King Tower against your Sparky deck, it's way easier for them to win. Also, we saw that he had Tornado, so I did make the right play there. Wait, we can activate King Tower against this bowler using our Sparky. Sparky, sacrifice, sacrifice. Usually, you would never see a Sparky player do this. But we are built different. Literally, we've got Tornado. So Tornado allows you that flexibility on defense and on offense. I'm not going to be able to show you the flexibility on offense with this deck. So let's imagine it for a second. Our opponent has a building in the middle. They've also got an Archer Queen or a Little Prince. We can Tornado the Archer Queen or Little Prince right into their building like a Tesla. And then we bombard their building and their high damage range card at the same time with the one Sparky shot. So if you can kill the range card and also the building, it's hilarious. Oh, he does have a building. So we're going to be able to do that maybe later in the match. If we can Tornado on top of his bowler and his cannon, that would be really fun. I don't know if it will happen, but I hope it can. Mini Pekka, please just lock onto the bowler. I'm asking you nicely here. If the Goblin Giant is going to be prioritized, maybe the Mini Pekka can give us like 1 or 2 shots. If I zap the bowler, it would definitely give us the second, but I didn't. Didn't need to. We're going to zap on top of the bowler now to finish it off. And then we won't have to respond to these archers either. They're going to get a little bit of damage, but it's not going to matter that much. I'm going to clog up the right-hand side so he can't cycle that much into a Sparky. And we'll see if he spams the other side. We've activated King Tower against this bowler. We're feeling a little bit spicy right now. And I know that I can go in for an aggressive play with a knight in front of the Sparky. And usually you can go for Goblin Giant or you can go in for a knight evolution to go and counter whatever, you know, cards they're going to be spamming to kill your Sparky. You want to have a tank for that Sparky push every time, though. Also, one of my favorite things in the game right now is using the Mini Pekka on top of Little Prince to one-tap it. It's really fun. We'll probably go bowler. Yeah, we could Tornado it to the other side, possibly. I don't know if that's going to work. If the minions just lock on a tower, that'd be cool. He Tornadoes as well. Makes sense. But that's a lot of damage for us. And he's going to drop the Evo Archers all on the same side. I think if we Fireball on both of them, that would have been awesome, but I did whiff. I thought it was going to go down the same path. It's okay. It happens. Maybe it's not okay, actually. He's going to go into Electro Giant and make me pain and suffering right now after that play. All right, he's going to lightning on the Mini Pekka. I was hoping that the Mini Pekka would come down a little bit later and evade the lightning, but I did mess that up. So I've made a couple slip-ups in this game. I don't always play perfectly. This is definitely one of those matches. We've messed up a lot, but we can still make this happen. We're going to go in Tornado and try to get the Sparky to shoot everything at once. Does not blast the cannon. Jeez, are we still going to win the match with Goblin Giant right now? There's no way. That's just so unfair. It's so unfair, man. I still win the match despite playing like a potato. That's why Goblin Giant's broken. Clash Royale, you gotta nerf this card. This Goblin Giant Sparky deck allows you to be trash and still trash your opponent's towers. The rank 3 player in the world was a master of outplaying his opponents with this Minor Poison deck. We've leveled up our skill to play Minor Poison, and we've traded in the Goblin Giant for the regular Goblins. We're going to cycle them at the start and see what our opponent's cooking. We're going to be spamming a lot of Minor Poisons in the later stages of the match, but for right now, we're going to cycle our Knight because that's the evolution. So the guy is going to be cycling Barbarrel, so it could be a beatdown deck. And when we see Electro Dragon, it's most likely to be Lumberjack, Balloon Freeze, or Golem. I would love to match into a Golem player that has Elixir Collector because we can casually and sadistically snipe it with our Miner. But in this specific situation, I don't necessarily think that's going to happen, so I got to go and click the Little Prince ability. I wonder if the Electro Dragon's going to go and die to Little Prince too. If it perpetually targets the Guardian and we pop off and we kill the Electro Dragon, that would be hilarious. Let's go, man. That's why we click the ability when we know that our opponent's going to have a tremendous amount of air cards because they don't necessarily have that much damage per second. They're extremely strong when they're built up with a Lumberjack, Balloon Freeze, or behind a Golem. But when they're unsupported, they're just going to get torn down. So I think if we go in for the poison there, it's a -1 trade. It's fine. It's not that big of a deal. We can maybe go for like a Little Prince and make that happen. But yeah, genuinely, you have an amazing way of killing all of the opponent's golems with the Inferno Tower. You just have to worry about the Electro Dragon. You can distract the Electro Dragon with one of two ways. Miner here, or you just go for the Guardian, and you just make sure that the Electro Dragon's never targeting onto what it wants to. So, unfortunately, the Guardian is... Okay, the Guardian is far enough away to give us the defense that we wanted. Now we're in delivery to dominate the rest of his spam, and then we can get Goblins down if we need to, which I think I do. I think I can go for an Evolved Knight to activate King Tower here, too. So let's go and do that. Oh, no, never mind. Never mind. Abort mission. Not going to deal with the Skeleton Dragons. This guy's good. He's actually really smart. He knew exactly what I was going to do, and he applied pressure, so I wasn't able to get the King Tower activation. Man, I like playing against players this good, but also notice how the Evolved Knight's broken? It's tanking for the Miner, so the Miner's not taking any damage. He's going to go Barbarians eventually, and then we can get the Little Prince to get tanked for. Nice! The Guardian's still tanking. We can go Goblins here as well, possibly. I would love to get those Goblins in front. Not going to happen. He played that exceptionally well again. Does he apply more pressure with this Electro Dragon or not? I think we do want to activate King Tower with the Miner if we can. Please? Yes, sir! Have you guys ever activated King Tower with the Miner? It's a bit harder to time because the Miner digs a pathway. So it's not necessarily as reliable in my opinion. So I'm glad that it worked out. That's the first time I've ever activated King Tower with Miner in my life. We're making strides out here in different type of plays that I haven't done before. So when we're playing against good players, I always feel like I have to level up my skill, and that's what we're doing in this match. We're going to go in for a Miner, and I'm going to get ready with multiple poisons. The one thing that you can do with this deck is cycle 2 poisons in double or triple elixir, and it's good because obviously we can kill the Electro Dragon. That's going to be a good transaction for us, and we're going to be able to damage down the tower a little bit with the first poison. So we're going to go in for our Inferno Tower a bit lower, and then we're going to get ready with our Evolved Knight, and we're going to just group everything together so the Royal Delivery can crush it. Then we're going to go in for our Little Prince on the other side. We're going to go and click the ability so we can knock back the majority of the Barbarians. And then we should be able to get Goblins down as well. We need to get back to another delivery. This is scary. This guy played so well. Jeez, dude, chill for a second. He's going to go Barbarrel as well to make sure that we're going to like retarget our tower onto the Barbarian instead of the Electro Dragon. Wow, I think he actually outplayed me. This guy is so good at the game. What the heck? We're going to have to eat the Skeleton Dragons there. Then we're going to go Poison on the left. And we're going to get ready with Goblins and maybe like a Miner in the back. And we'll see if we can get some damage. We're trying to just casually apply as much pressure as possible so that he isn't able to go in for a Golem. If he doesn't go in for a Golem, he's kind of in a bad spot. He's saying, wow, he's like, dude, just stop Miner poisoning me. Don't be that guy. But that's who I am. It's who I am at my heart, bro. All right, we're going to go Knight, and then we can go in for a Poison and Royal Delivery to go and kill his Electro Dragon, which is probably what we need to do. Yeah, I'm definitely going to go for the Poison here. Then I'm going to go for the Royal Delivery. I'm going to Miner as well. I want to go and cycle our Evo Knight if he decides to go in for a Lumberjack. We'll see if he even tries to defend this. We can go Barbarians at the river. Okay, makes sense. That's what I would do too. We're going to have to go for a Poison. As long as we're able to go in for a Delivery, we will be able to dominate him now. And we can start to spam like a savage. So I'm going to go Miner. We've got the Evo Knight on the field. So we're going to say goodnight to everything that he holds dear. He doesn't have Tornado, so we're able to drop our Miner in the back. It doesn't matter anyway, because even if they activate King Tower at this point, it wouldn't do anything. And now we're able to cycle 2 Miners on his tower. The second one was about to load in before the first friend even died. Even if you play against good golem players that are capable of making huge outplays, this deck's solid defenses more than make up for it. Royal Delivery Poison with Little Prince and Inferno Tower is an ultimate shutdown. And when you add on the Evolved Knight, nothing's breaking through. The number 2 player in the world crumbled castles quickly with this giant graveyard deck. I was on call with other pros on the last day of the season, and everyone unanimously hated this deck. Hey yo, we got a game against Mr. Rocket TV. Assassin's MX. We're ready to assassinate your tower with Giant Graveyard. Out of all the decks today, this is the one that gets the fastest wins. It isn't very fair, and I don't care. I'm going to go cycle our archers in the back first play, because that's how we get the evolution. We're going to go minions directly on the miner. So he's already spent 4 elixir. I do want to test the waters here with the giant, just because if he's going to be running bait cards, we've got arrows and we've got snowball. Heck, we could go and push the musketeer to the other side, possibly with the snowball. It's always fun to do. Maybe the giant can break through then. If it targets onto the minion and then, oh, it's still staying locked on the giant. That's unfortunate. It was worth trying out, at least for my conscience. I didn't know if it was going to work or not, so I wanted to see. I wanted to test the limits of the snowball. I'm going to Dark Prince directly on the musketeer to finish it off. He's probably going to have a balloon cycle deck, just looking at the card composition that we see. We see miner, musketeer, bomb tower. It just screams balloon at me. So I'm going to cycle archers, make sure that we're capable of defending both sides. And then when we look at our deck and we're like, hey, we got minions, we got snowball, we got little prince, we got archers. Like, there's a lot of good answers that we have. So I'm psyched to see if we can make this happen with a giant graveyard already. Even right into the musketeer. You guys might be saying, Jake, this is pretty adventurous of you. I don't care. That's how this deck operates. You spam like a savage. It's not an average deck. It is absolutely disgusting. So we're going to snowball, hit his tower, push back the knight, and just get so much damage. The musketeer is damaged down to the point that we don't have to worry about it. We are cycling to the evolved archers faster. And also on top of that, I mean, the way that I look at this right now is he really wants to go for a balloon, but he's not allowed to because there's evolved archers on the field. He has to respect them on both sides. Now we can go in for a giant and continuously apply pressure. He hasn't even gotten a single shred of a chance to go in for offense because it's not possible for him. He let the evolved archer lock onto the musketeer, and then we lock up an opportunity to go in for arrows to kill the musketeer, damage down the tower. Look at how broken the evolved archers are. We somehow broke through a musketeer, a bomb tower, and also a bar barrel, and he had nothing to show for it. He got no counter push, and all of his stuff died, and we did damage to his tower. So if you're trading like this, while being able to chip away at your opponent, and they're defending, but they're not getting any positive elixir advantage, they can never go in for offense. They're just sitting there. They're standing there. Like, what am I supposed to do? All my cards keep dying.
Okay. Me?
I never get any opportunities. It's so funny. Probably not that funny for him, but I'm loving it. So we knew what he was running. We knew it was going to be a balloon deck. So I'm going to go and separate my stuff. I'm going to go in for our archers a little bit further back. I don't even have to go for a snowball. Everything's dead. So we can go in for a giant and build up a bigger push, or we can go in for a Dark Prince and also a giant and do everything that we want, and then graveyard. So generally, giant graveyard is going to get damage every time that you drop it. You don't have to think that much. You just take your free damage and you say, thank you, sir. I appreciate that. If they go for bait cards, you arrow them, you snowball them. If they don't, you can still snowball the tower and push away their stuff at the same time. The slow that snowball gives is pretty broken too. And I think that was the least close match all day. This deck was number 1 in the world up until the last couple hours of the day. So it really could have finished number 1 in the world too. And Royal Hogs rushed through to rank 1 in the world, outplaying and outmaneuvering every opponent. So this is by far the most challenging deck of all the decks we've played today. It isn't easy because you have to earn your damage with the Royal Hogs breaking through, unlike Minor Poison that gets directly on the tower and guarantees you damage every time. So if you play this deck well, obviously you're going to be rewarded. You can make a lot of cool plays with Evolved Skeletons, splitting up the Evolved Skeletons with your Royal Hogs, and you can also lose the match pretty quickly if you mess up just once, because obviously there's a lot of Mega Knights in the meta with fireballs, and people are playing Goblin Giant, so if they go and string together a Goblin Giant Sparky deck, push, and have a Dark Prince and a Fireball, and you drop your Royal Hogs into that, since you're spending 5 elixir, you're gonna die. You can't necessarily mess up like that. So you have to think about what you're gonna do, and you can't just randomly throw your win condition at your opponent's tower at the start of the match. Oh, what do you know? It's a Goblin Giant deck. So cool. We can go in for our Little Prince ability, go in for our cannon, and you can run Inferno Tower if you want in this version. It's decent to play. If you like Inferno Tower, it works relatively well against Lava Hound decks, and also Goblin Giant, because a lot of Goblin Giant decks do not have resets. So we're going to go and spam him because he's down a bit of elixir, and we can either go in for an Earthquake Log to kill the archers or Royal Delivery, But most of the time, when we're in a pretty convenient position, I would rather just go for the Earthquake for damage. Because I know that I'll be able to kill the archers anyway, and I don't want to have to deal with them anymore. And I can get more damage by spending one more elixir than the log. So might as well just spend the one more elixir and get a lot more damage on the tower. Right? It's like 70 damage or over 200. So he's going to go for a Sparky in the back. That's totally fine for me. He used a zap too, so let's go for skeletons and Royal Hogs in the left. And we'll see if he's going to Fireball, or if he's even got Fireball on his deck. Then I'm going to go in for our Little Prince ability. Maybe we can knock back the Sparky and have it go and target the Guardian. Perfect! That's how I like to play. Making sure that our opponent has to spend all of their elixir on the left and they have nothing left over to go and support the Guardian Sparky. So that's cool. We can go for delivery to dominate the evolved archers, as you guys can see. That is one of the best trades. That is one of the few good trades that you can get against the evolved archers in Clash Royale. Then we're going to go in for Royal Hogs in the right. I expect him to go in for a Sparky, but he might drop it a little bit too late. I wonder if this is going to work out for us. Maybe I should start going in the right-hand side and the left-hand side. There's so much different stuff I can do. We're going to Earthquake on top of the Sparky and also shred the archers. We can go in for a cannon in the best spot possible. We're going to log on top of the Heal Spirit to finish that off. We're going to go for an Ice Spear, and we're going to go in for our Royal Hogs in the left because he doesn't have that much elixir. If we're minimizing the elixir that he's got, then he's not going to be able to build up a big Sparky push. Then, because we know that our Little Prince is dead, we can go for Skeleton Surround and finish off the Sparky there too. So we've done a lot of damage on both sides. I think I just want to keep piling on the left because I don't think that he's going to be expecting it. He's going to expect, yep, I knew he was going to do that. All right, let's rush to Royal Hogs as fast as we possibly can and then go in for Skeletons afterward because the Ice Spirit might stun the Dark Prince for a little bit. No! That Heal Spirit was unbelievably clutch. Wait, this defense is going to be difficult. This is actually going to be hard. I don't like this. We're going to have to eat the Dark Prince, go in for our Little Prince here, and then maybe we're going to be okay? I don't know anymore. I think I'm slightly in a bad spot. We're going to eat the Dark Prince, go in for Skeletons, try to go in for Royal Hog Split. Wait, is that going to hit my Little Prince? No, it doesn't. Okay, thank goodness. I was so worried for a second. My precious Little Prince, he deserved to live. All right, we're going to go in for a cannon here. We do hit the Heal Spirit, which was really big. I'm going to Ice Spirit afterward to make sure that we keep the cannon alive. Little Prince locks onto the tower. That's going to load up a lot of damage, and I don't think that we're going to be able to take the tower yet, but it's pretty darn close. I'm going to go for Royal Hogs to go and pull that mini Pekka back so it doesn't take our tower, and then I can Earthquake, and I think I win the game. So that should be all she wrote. Very fun match all the way around. And when you're playing against Sparky with Dark Prince, it is going to be a dynamic game. Fortunately, we were able to put him to shame with our skill. Out of all the decks today, the Royal Hog cycle is my favorite one to play. Chaotically cruising around the arena with Royal Hogs when the opponent has a low amount of elixir will get you damage every time. You just have to be good enough to find the opportunities and stay solid on defense. And as shown this season, you can reach #1 in the world if you're good enough. Like if you enjoyed, subscribe for more daily videos, and have an amazing rest of your day.